All right, we are live, everybody. Welcome. Hopefully, you guys can see me and hear me. Coming live to you today, and the subject is mastering your commitments. I got my book here, You versus You, and this is kind of one of those promise things, you versus your promises. And we have a Monique Jose here, and she is going to be helping us kind of walk through how to master your commitments. And I wanted to bring on somebody who had a lot of commitments. She has some businesses that she does. She has 2 children, a husband, and a lot of commitments too, but she is mastering them. So if you're just joining us, go ahead and comment. Hopefully you can see me and hear me and my internet is okay. But Monique, thank you so much for being on today. So why don't you go ahead and start us off with just a little of your background, what you do, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the title today, Mastering Your Commitments.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Todd. I always enjoy chatting with you and talking for the audience today. But so I am an emotion code and body code practitioner. I actually do have a full-time job during the day, and then I do energy healing in the evenings and the weekends. I am a mom. I'm a wife. I do have several other businesses, and so yes. My plate is definitely full, and so I have lots of commitments. But I think, like you've been such a leader in, really, knowing what your purpose is, what your mission is, and having this goal, and everything that you do is. Every decision that you make is, to achieve your goals and dreams, and so that's keep in mind every day, and that's what helps to keep me, calm and focused and not to feel overwhelmed. And yeah, I mean, I think, using your calendar is so important with when lots of things going on. And since I am a practitioner, I'll also do a muscle test. And if I'm kind of torn and like, okay, well, what do I need to work on today? That's something that I really enjoy doing is muscle testing, since I am a practitioner. But yeah, I mean, getting a game plan in place and using your calendar are just the 2 biggest factors, I think, for anybody to really like stay committed and to stay focused.
Absolutely. So in my book, You versus You, one of the battles that we outline in my book, the 12 battles, is you versus your promises. So I put we have to return to, like, when we do make commitments, it's not just our words. So the return on this: commitment is an act, not a word. So when we are committed and we're staying true to our commitments, and again, I'm not speaking from massive authority. I'm not saying I'm always true to my commitments either, because sometimes I'll over promise, because I think, would you agree? So let's talk about this. So you've had a lot of clients and you're an energy healer, and things are going to come up, right? Some energy, some traumas. I think it's fair to say that all of us have a trauma of people pleasing. So I love to talk about people pleasing, because it's almost like we're all good people and we all have good intentions. We all want to make everyone happy, and even our children. Okay, I'll go to this thing, but then across the town is that gymnastics practice. Then I got to bring Johnny to baseball practice, and then my husband needs me to go to the grocery store, and I got to be a good wife, and then I got to do this, and I got to be a good businesswoman. So we all want to people please. We all want to do good by people. But tell me a little bit about what you learned personally, and also maybe what your clients, you've helped people walk through the people pleasing side of it, and how to maybe set boundaries, so that way when you do commit, you actually can follow through on that word.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, that's a great topic. I think just personally for myself, if somebody asked me to do something, and everybody's wanting the same thing something at the same time, I'm just like, okay, hold on, give me a moment. Maybe let's make up a plan so where I can maybe help you guys. If you absolutely need my help, I can do that. But let's make a plan. Maybe I can help you, this evening, or maybe I can help you tomorrow. But so, like I can still, fulfill my, my wifely duties and, duties as a mom, or, we take a step back and like, okay, do you really need my help? Or like, I know this is something that you can do, and just take a step back and analyze the situation. That can be really helpful. But also, using that energy healing, like you said, we all have traumas. We've all been, through traumatic situations, and our body does, trap these emotions and imbalances that maybe give us lack of clarity and make us, want to please everybody. And so when you do get energy healing, you're able to have so much more clarity. And maybe if, say you're in a situation where somebody's taking advantage of you, just because, you're nice and they know that you'll do something.
Yeah.
When you energy healing, you can stand up for yourself and like, you know what? No, like, I'm sorry. I don't have time to do that. I'd love to help you in a different situation, or whatever it is, but basically just stand up for yourself and say like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I wish I could help you, but I can't. So the energy healing is definitely a huge factor in being able to stand up for yourself, having that confidence and self-esteem to just like set that boundary and like, I'm sorry, I can't help you today. So, of course, I love the energy healing side, and that really helps you to push through when otherwise, you would want to just say yes to everything.
Yeah, and I think that comes from a lot of guilt in the beginning. So if someone's trying to get out of the I'm a people pleaser, at first that's going to sound like kind of guilt, or you're going to feel the guilt. But I'm here to tell you, and so is Monique, it's like that's normal, because maybe if you've been a people pleaser your whole life, that's just going to be out of your comfort zone to actually say no. But how important, Monique, is to say no, not because you're a bad person or a jerk, but you can't do it all. I mean, you really can't. You can't make your husband happy. You can't make your children happy, and you can't make the whole world happy all in one. But you have to prioritize, because if you made the whole world happy, but your husband is miserable, that's not success. If you made the world happy, but your children are neglected, that's not success.
Right.
So we have to really kind of define our own success, and because a commitment can't come once you don't. I mean, if you don't define what your goals, success, what that means to you, then what are you committing to? You're just overcommitting to a bunch of stuff that might not even matter. So what have you learned, I think maybe in the past 12 months, of prioritizing and not just making people happy, but making yourself happy first? And then that energy is really transferring over to your loved ones, and then colleagues and friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely. That self-care is so important. I mean, if we're taking care of ourselves, I am an energy healer, so I practice. I do healing on myself. I get healing from other professionals. So I try to always to stay on top of that, so that I know that I'm healing. That allows me to grow. That allows me to be a better person overall, which will then extend to me being a better wife and me being a better mom, in all the roles that I play. If I'm taking care of myself, then I can, like I kind of, said before, having that clarity. I'm like, okay, what is something that I can commit to, and what is something that I have the time and, the passion for, and what are the things that, just I'm going to have to say no right now, and it could come back, in the future, or maybe not. Maybe it's just something that I have to let go and let it pass me by. But the energy healing is so important.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, if you're just joining us, thanks so much for being on the live. We're talking about committing, or like overcommitting, or how to keep your commitments. And it's something that I'm actually learning, just, because again, I come from a people pleasing background. I have a lot of commitments that I have to be committed to now. So let's talk about scheduling. So let's talk a little bit the how to. So we can commit, and again, you versus you. In my book, I talk about you versus your promises. I say how to redefine this. Like, so if we want to change, if we really want to do what we say we're going to do, we have to kind of redefine some of the struggles that we had. And I write in my book, to win this battle, you have to be willing to do what you promise, and only promise what you're able to do. So once you're promising what you're able to do, now you have to schedule it. Okay. And then that's, I'll just speak from my experience, and you can speak from your experience. I would be interested to hear from your experience. But like, I have a schedule. So Monday through Friday, when it comes to my professional life, and my physical. So I meditate right when I wake up. I read the Bible. I journal. I have my coffee. I talk to my family and whatever, and then I'll go to the gym. And then I'll go to the gym for an hour. By the time I drive there, drive back, then I'll be back. I'll shower, and then by 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday is my work, my videos, my 3 businesses that I run. And then once 6 o'clock's over, phone down. Then I'm focusing on family, and even, Todd time, but the weekends are also family. So that has helped me in my mindset, in that 8 hours of anything I committed to my staff, my colleagues, my team. That's what I'm focused on. And if I can't get it done, I'll just transfer it to the next day. And I'm okay with that. So I'm not going to always make people happy. I might not get to someone when they text me. Oh, well. I'm not trying to be, I'll just do it the next day. I'll get back to someone in 24 hours or less. But I also don't want people thinking they have full access to me, because that could ruin a marriage. You're putting other people before a marriage. And I've been down that road. You put other things first, so we have to have that balance. So what are things that you do that maybe you can offer people that watch, that maybe some of your boundaries and some of the ways that you could become a success like you have, and just also feel happy and light and not so bogged down with all the to-do lists?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, from your direction and your coaching, I have definitely implemented meditation, which has helped me so much
Mm-hmm.
to to kind of get rid of that overwhelm. So I definitely do that. I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I get myself ready, help the kids get ready, and then I go to my day job, which is 7 to 4, and then in the evenings I'm doing the energy healing, and on the weekends some too. But I've
Mm-hmm.
definitely chosen days. Okay, like there's certain days that I will do energy healing, and certain days. So there's like 4 days a week that I do energy healing, and 3 days that I don't. So the kids know, like, okay, you don't have anything going on tonight, mom. So, they make plans, what do
Yeah.
we do?
Right.
So, and then they know that, like, there are certain days that, I do have commitments in the evening, but,
Right.
I'm just very, very mindful that even though I am busy, I make sure that when we are together, it is quality time. I make sure that when we're in the car, we're chatting, we're connecting, when we're having,
Mm-hmm.
same thing. And, I tuck them into bed each night. We say our prayers, and,
Mm-hmm.
just reiterate to them that, even though I'm working so hard, it's like, I am here for them no matter what. And, then just definitely have, those days where there's those boundaries, like, okay, this day is for working, or this hour is for working. And then there's other days that aren't. And so,
Yep.
I mean, it can be a struggle sometimes, but, it's worked so far. And that's what I keep just trying to do that, and just really keep an eye on my calendar. And so far, so good.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good. And kind of wrapping up, the last thing I'll just do, because we want to get into these new habits. If you're not really can be keeping your commitments, I mean, obviously keeping your commitments is going to feel so good. You're going to feel happier. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel like you're actually contributing. Contribution is really what human beings want to do. We want to make a contribution to the world, to society, to our families, to ourselves. So, I wrote in my book repeating, don't talk, just act. Don't say, just show. Don't promise, just prove. Okay.
Mhm.
So, and not that love is based on performance, but there are a lot of things in life that you have to prove. Like if you didn't show up to your job for a week, would you get fired?
I mean, yeah, they'd be like, what the heck is going on?
Or be
Yeah.
like, they probably really like you. So that before they do, they're like, what's going on? What happened? So
Yeah.
yeah, we've got to like not just say, oh, I promise, I'll promise, I'll do all that, and then not act on it. And then we're not proving ourselves. So whether it's a relationship, we do have to prove ourselves. Whether it's being a good father, being a good mother, we have to prove ourselves. I mean, we have to prove that we're consistently loving, we're consistently there for our children. They trust us, even as a child. We have to build trust everywhere we go. So a lot of times people talk, but it's not just about what you say. It's really actions speak louder than words. So
Mhm.
I think this live is important for both of us to continue what we do. And I will say on the other end of really fulfilling those commitments on my end, I will say, you can kind of close with your thoughts, is the way that I feel keeping my commitments feels really, really good.
Mhm.
And because of something like you do energy healing. I used to feel really guilty
Mhm.
if somebody texted me and I didn't immediately respond back. I used
Right.
to feel guilty if a business partner needed me for a call and I just didn't call them until the next day because I was maybe past 6 p.m., whatever it is. And that has helped me through energy healing, what you do to
Mhm.
remove the guilt and still be true to my word, but
Right.
not have to be the master of other people.
Right.
So tell me how that can, energy healing can really start healing people from the inside out so that they can feel great about being in their lane, staying in their lane, not
Mhm.
looking at everyone else, being true to their own word and not worrying about what other people are doing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we have these imbalances that are, they're trapped in our bodies and weighing us down, whether it's guilt or whether it's shame, whether it's anxiety. We can get any of these, negative emotions
Hmm.
when, somebody is asking something of us and, we can't follow through. But we have to take care of ourselves, and that's where that energy healing helps you to lift that baggage and really allow you to focus on, like, okay, what is it that I need to be spending my time on? What is the priority? What is the most important thing in my life? Where it's my family, and it's my my job and my
Yeah.
commitments, and you go in in that priority, and to not feel oh, like you said, people pleasing everybody. So getting rid of that baggage helps you to really just understand, like, okay, it's gonna be fine if my focus is to get these 2 tasks done today and I only get one of them done today. I can push the next one to the next day and everything will be fine. You have to have that faith that, like, everything, it does happen for a reason. Maybe, I like to say, you got stopped by a train and you were late to some meeting because, you know what, that train prevented you from getting into a car accident. So, like, having that faith that, like, everything works out the way that it should be. Some big important meeting gets canceled. Well, you know what, and then it gets pushed to the following for a reason.
Yeah.
And now that their meeting is pushed to next week, it's going to be even bigger and better than what you were expecting. So
Yep.
it's being able to go with that flow, not to be just so structured and, like, it has to be this way, it has to be this way,
Yep.
and being able to go with the flow and just allow things to happen the way they are and embrace it.
Absolutely. No, it's great stuff. And if you guys like this interview and just, you're also committed, because I think we all can say we made a lot of mistakes. We failed in so many different ways in our life of not over promising and under delivering. But I will say it does come from a good heart. It's
Mhm.
not like people that overcommit are bad people. I think a
Right.
lot of it comes from they just want to please everybody, because we are good people and we have good hearts and good intentions. Only very few small percentage of people are bad people. I think most of us have just a great heart. We want to be great parents. We want to be great leaders. We want to be successful and all that stuff. But I would just say it could cause massive trauma if you don't change that feeling. Because even though you come from a good place, you could lose your marriage from coming from a good place. It's really weird how that works, because, or
Mhm.
you could lose a friendship, or you could lose a partnership in a business if coming from a good place. So it also comes from a very strict place of, okay, what can I do? And can I stretch myself? That's fine. But am I way outside my stretch limit? It's okay to
Right.
feel stretched. It's okay to put pressure on yourself. But is the pressure too much to bear? And that's a
Right.
problem. So I think we need to all stretch ourselves, but not too thin. But
Right.
also, open up the lid that we can do more. I think there's a lot of people that might be doing not enough of what they really could do, and there's a lot of people that are just multitaskers, but they're not really accomplishing anything.
Right.
So, in closing, if anyone feels what I just said, or if anyone can relate, what I would recommend is you inbox, myself or Monique, and just let us know, hey, you need energy healing. You need to inbox Monique. Be like, look, sign me up for that class. I want a free session. I want to learn what this energy healing is all about over the
Right.
phone with someone that's certified like Monique. I'm not certified. I could do other things like
Yeah.
manifestation and coaching, but what Monique can do is really kind of dive into the emotional side or the body side of
Mhm.
what keeps blocking you, and clearing those blocks so that you can be, who you want to be. Is that right, Monique?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think just even like if you feel like, okay, I'm so overcommitted, I don't know what to do, I'm so overwhelmed. I mean, you can even write a list of all your commitments and just take a look at it and, like, okay, what is it that I can cut out? And even maybe have a conversation with your spouse. If you have a spouse, like, okay, I just need some clarity, and you guys come together and make some sort of action plan. And then even it comes to household duties or whatnot, and then your spouse knows, like, okay, she's overwhelmed or he's overwhelmed, and, like, I've got to pick up with these responsibilities or whatnot, and come together with an action.
Hmm.
Because when you're not talking about the things that are kind of like
Yeah.
churning inside of you and you're boiling and you're getting irritated and annoyed, then that's just going to cause more problems down the road. So, talk about it with your spouse if if you're married or whatnot, whatever the situation is, and just figure out, okay, maybe there's something I need to cut out.
Yeah.
So I can just be, a better person and not be so, like all over the place and feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is great. And we could talk about this all day. This is something I'm
Yeah.
continue to strive. It's really important because I would just kind of leave it here as far as this interview goes. Like, make sure that you're number one, making yourself happy and you're committing to yourself. I think we need to commit to ourselves, whether it's our I call it pies, right? Physical life, intellectual life, emotional life, and spiritual life. So that's number one, is you need to be committed, whatever goals for yourself in those 4 areas. Number 2, you need to make commitments to the people most important to you: spouse, children, family, mom, dad, whoever it is, right? Priorities. Number 3 is everyone else. Okay. And you pick and choose that. But the bottom line is, I can't stress enough, you're never going to be able to please everybody. You will have people mad at you. So when you set boundaries,
Yeah.
but it will go away. Those people that think that you need to text them right back, you just text them back whenever you can. Now they're going to realize, okay, they don't text me back. You allow people to treat you however you want them to treat you. So choose wisely on how you think, how you basically make that commitment, on how you want people to treat you. That's on
Right.
us. So when
Yeah.
someone says, I got taken advantage of, well, you allowed them to treat you that way. No, I'm triggered. Oh my God, you're such a jerk, Todd. No. You did. You allowed people to take advantage of you because you allowed it. So we have to also look at our past in a good way so that never happens again. And again, that's where you can come in, Monique. That's where you come in with energy healing, get rid of those triggers, clear the heart wall. We have someone here, Gail. She wants energy. So clear the heart wall so that way there's more abundance there and people are starting to really look at themselves differently and have different perspectives. And that's what you do. And I highly recommend it, anyone that's watching this.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to help anybody who's trying to, have some clarity and trying to get rid of the overwhelm and set those boundaries. So yeah, it's so important. We have to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of anybody else.
Appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
All right, bye.